Hey there all, hope you're doing well today. So I want to do a redo, not of like one project, but of the entire world. So my plan right now is to start a new world and go through the same process I did for this one. However, the difference would be that in each update I have an active goal list. So I went to ChatGPT and asked it to generate challenges for each update so I could update to the next one. So right now, to go from like 1.0 to 1.1, I would need to build a house, get a dog, and bring it back to the house, get a diamond pickaxe, and then enter the nether. And then once I do all four of those things, then I can update to 1.1. Now, some of them will probably just be one episode just to get the basics done, or I might add a thing or two, but end of the day, I think it'll be better to have a few challenges to actually, do stuff. And later on, it'll be like conquer a guardian temple, build a base inside a temple, build a base in the biomes, so on and so forth. So this will be the last episode in this world, but I figured that I would just do kind of a walk around and show you. I haven't done a whole lot in comparison, but I figure we just do a quick walk around and see what's been done. But basically, so we started up here. So we started and we spawned up here and got very lucky and found the base or the cave right down here. Now I've always loved cave bases, so I loved doing this and I love building it. And I plan to do the same thing in the next world, is either have a beginning cave base or find one and get it. But I was incredibly shocked by just how extensive this cave is. It's pretty absurd, I'm not gonna lie. Because we can go into LAN, and you can kind of see, which I'm pretty sure I've shown a couple times, I don't think I've really done a deep dive into exactly how extensive this place is. Like, it's genuinely kind of absurd how massive this cave system is. And when I first got into it, I didn't think that it would be as massive as it is, but holy Toledo, was I wrong. So I was very happy when I found this, and I'm hoping to find a similar one. Now technically I could just take the seed and basically do a complete redo, but I don't really want to, copy and paste kind of a thing. Since I would like it to be a unique world. And so I will do some searching through seeds to see which one I like best, but yeah, I don't plan on getting rid of this one. I might update it and just kind of see what comes up near me. But now this wasn't obviously this when I came along. It was just because the floor of this is through here. So we had to build all of this. All this stuff above. All this is the, basically just shy of the ceiling below. So, we extended this, and I thought it would just be really cool to have a mini lake inside, and I was right. I really like it. And we did decorations and all that fun jazz. Now, there were plenty of ideas for the future, and that's not a problem, because we will bring them into the next world. Now, this direction is just over here. And I thought I was thinking of putting stuff behind here, but it didn't really come to life. But then down here, we have the enchanting area down this way, which I never really used fully. And then, of course, we have the mob farm. Hello, friends. And it surprisingly does really well. Like, I didn't expect it to do that well. And I really honestly forgot that it was there for a while. So, initially I was going to have each of these lights light up, and I only did these first 3. Which is fine. Enchanting, some stuff over here. And here. And yeah. So then, all the redstone and stuff is back there. Now, down here is where I spent a lot of time. Because I was farming skeletons like a madman. So the Skelly farm is back this way. Here is the slime farm where I had to actively do slime math, as I personally named it, since I never had to do stuff like that. It involved legit math, dividing by stuff, and checking the coordinates and all that fun stuff. And shockingly enough, I was only off by, to get the full chunk, I was only off by a block. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think right here is the full chunk. So this is the chunk line I got right inside, which worked out great. Never really capitalized on it, but again, we'll be fixing all that fun stuff in the future. Future plans of a river running through. Yeah, not a whole lot down here, just some, you know, animals and such. But I look forward to recreating something similar in the future. Now over here was the Skelly farm. Right around here. Oh, hi friends. It's so addicting just to stand there and hit them. It's so addicting. Killing the skeletons is just fun. Oh, hi spider. So then down here was the redstone room, which ended up not being the redstone room. So I opted to change it, and I was going to have this be the tree farm, I believe. Which would have been cool with the ideas that I had planned in my head, but, you know, things happen. So not a whole lot going on, but that's honestly why I want to restart, because I want to have it, I want to really have those goals set. And it may not be worth it to some people, but I would just rather do that, because that was my initial plan, and I kind of abandoned it halfway through, because I really want to actually explore the updates. So up here, we go out back this way, and we have a Skelly. And then up here is the storage room with the dog army. And my various blocks. And end rating. And the dragon head. Alright. So then down here is where I've spent also a fair amount of time. Is the smelting room. And then we have the spider spawner over here. And that's really about it for this base. So it really wasn't a whole lot compared to what I wanted it to have. And then we also have the cactus farm and a couple other things over in the other direction, which we will go and check out. So just over here, my idea here was to have, possibly have this be its own sugarcane farm, have a cart running underneath, and then you probably widen this a bit to make that work, but then I have to move all that. But either way, I could have decorated the back wall too. The first redstone farm that we really did to get some stuff. The cactus farm, which was a double cactus farm. Extended over here. And then, yeah, so it goes all the way down to bedrock over here, which is fabulous. And it works quite nice, and I prefer having this for bone meal over like an actual redstone farm personally. But I might build a redstone version in the future if I really feel like I need it. But I do honestly enjoy the big absurdness that you need to get a good amount of bone meal for this. And then we have the Logical Geek Boy kelp block maker. Wow, I could not think of that. And then a potion brewer that I used, I think, twice. So, what we are going to do is head to the next area. And another stipulation that I would have for the next world is that if I do another path to an area, the path itself has to be completed before you update. And then here's the storage for the farming area, which did get some use. It was a good idea. I liked it. Early updates are a little annoying for this because the way the crops don't exactly float, they tend to sink. So this design doesn't work particularly well. If you do just one, it would work fine, but the double layer did not help. So let's head to the, well, actually let's go out here. And I definitely will do something similar to this in the next world. So this was a bridge that I was actually quite proud of and I really liked. So a lot of this you'll probably be seeing in the new world at some point. So it won't be abandoned or anything like that in a way. So it seems only fitting to actually walk the bridge instead of fly over it. Now, my big goal for this series in the long run is to have a lived-in world. So it feels more like things have been built over the years through the updates. And I like that idea. I think it's really cool, and honestly, it's a cool aesthetic. Because you can do stuff in certain patches that you can't do later on, so I know there's a trick with water where you can have, if you don't update it, it stays flowing just fine, but if you update it, then it triggers to overflow. Something like that. So, I mean, there's options for a lot of things, I think, to do with each update if you really look into it. And I would like to do some of the stuff, but at least feel like I experienced the updates a bit more than I did with this world. And having the challenges, I think, will actually help quite a bit. And from there, we'll slowly update through the updates. And here is the mining desert. And down there, is my mining hole. So the desert has done wonders. TNT is honestly a great way to dig. That is something I will definitely do in the future. Now, I actively tried to not explore too much except for one direction, so that did, I think, help, and it made for some fun visuals. So yeah, that's just the mining desert. But I've spent a number of days, minutes, whatever you want to say. Number of time sounds absurd enough to work. So down here, I was going to decorate the floor, yeah. Stairs and all that fun stuff, but at that point I had just finished doing the trading hall decoration and didn't really feel like doing it at that time. There's what I've mined out. Got some golems for my protection. And they actually work surprisingly well. I was genuinely surprised. But yeah. Alright, so let's head to the place where I spent more time than really anywhere else. And it isn't the Nether. However, I was pretty happy with this design. I thought it was pretty cool. I'll definitely do something like this. Like I said, I do really like the design. So, this is definitely something that we'll be carrying over, especially just in general for another hub. That's just facts. Alright. Now we head down here. And I don't think we'll visit, like, the desert temple or the mob spawner, because they really weren't that interesting, but... So, here is where I spent a lot of my time. Now, I spent a lot of time here because I was working on actually breeding villagers for the first time in the old update, and I had to mess around with a lot of things. And then we have my big field, and we have creepers hanging out with the turtles. So up here is the iron farm. Now, originally it was the old Iron Titan, I think is what Tango Tech called it. Or something. I think it was a Tango Tech design. For the old way of how villagers would gossip, spawn a golem, and then good to go. And you needed quite a number of villagers. So each of the pods on the sides held the villagers, they gossiped, and you made sure that it was high enough to where they could only spawn in one of these two sections. Now, there's a bunch of doors because back in the old updates, that's how it generated a village. That's how it considered it a village. And then when 1.14 came around, which I believe is when they updated it, it was just down to this logical geek boy simple design. And they come down here, fall into the lava, and their bits get thrown out here into this line. And then it gets sent into the storage. Which, since this is going to be the last episode here, let's do a final harvest, shall we? So we can hopefully properly enjoy it. Alright, and then it heads all the way down here. And then all the way in this direction to the storage, which is over here. And so through here is where they gather. And again, originally I had other intentions of getting a better way than just having them hang out right there. But it does work, and that's really all I care about. So yeah, that is that, and this was the OG trading hall, which I was quite happy with, and I still quite enjoy, minus the number of spawning points, but no problem. Didn't really ever truly finish this, it seems. Alright. And then down here, the new trading hall, which I was slowly getting populated with the villagers and getting the trades that I actually wanted. So it was coming along. It was going good. And I like the design. It's different from what I would usually do, I think. Either way, I liked it. I still like it. And I think that's pretty much everything, honestly. We can go to the zombie spawner, I guess. Now this one is a project that, holy Toledo, it hurt me so many times. Because the idea is great. I think it was another Tango Tech design. Now it worked for one update, and then the next update it stopped working. And then it like partially worked in the next update. And of course finally when it went to 1.14, it was obsolete. The idea is still sound, I think, with pushing the villagers up through water like that, but yeah, end of the day, it was just incredibly frustrating, and I never understood why. So I rewatched the video, I read the wiki, I tried to understand it, and it wasn't working. But, end of the day, doesn't really matter. It was a fun project, and I'll probably try something like it in the next world. But let's end off at the zombie spawner, since I actually pretty much decorated that entire thing. Alright, so in here, we have the zombie spawner. Now, this is a double spawner that I actually found. And the way that it's built at the moment is just older style, so there's no bubble column or anything like that. It can do pretty well. It's still not like super fast, but it does the job. And needless to say, it can be a bit loud. There we go. So, got the zombie killer. Got us. I think it started off as a Smite 4 sword, and then I just added the rest of that on. But either way, I'm a little sad about leaving this world behind as far as making content for it, but like I said, I'll probably visit it occasionally or update it just to see where everything ended up. But when I started the challenge, or the series, I mean, I guess it's a challenge, but just the series in general, I really wanted to actually experience the old updates, whether it was one episode where I did things or whatever. But I really didn't. I felt like I skipped stuff. I didn't really like dive into it. So yeah, but overall I really am looking forward to the next world to build many things. I have varying ideas for all sorts of things. So that is going to do it for this one. I don't really have a release schedule or anything like that planned for the next series, but I may just do like a batch recording and then schedule them out one a week later on. I don't exactly know, but for now, yeah. This is Matt signing off for a bit, and when I come back, we'll be starting this again. And in a new world, to new challenges, and to have new fun. Alrighty. So, for the first time, since I've actually done this series, we'll end with a typical Minecraft outro looking at the camera thing. And yeah, thanks all for watching this video and the previous videos. Previous videos. I'm not sure about the naming of this, if I'm just going to name it to Season 1 and then do Season 2 or what, but you'll see it when that time comes. So, for now, I am signing off, and if you do enjoy possibly World of Warcraft content, you can check out my other channel, Scrolls of Azeroth, where I talk about World of Warcraft lore. But if not, then that's all fine too. I'll see you in the next one. Please take care of yourself. And again, thanks for watching.